How's it going, everybody? It's Pilot Flame, and we are back with another FPL video, and today we're doing a kind of new series. It had a different name last season. It was called Highs and Lows, but we've renamed it to the Transfer Radar, where we take a look at the top players that are being transferred out and the top players that are being transferred in. We'll see what's the new trendy kind of, I guess, knee-jerk or flavor of the week pick transfer for this upcoming game week. If you have been enjoying the videos and you do think this is a good idea for a series, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so that you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Drop us a follow over on Twitter so that you can see when we post anything related to FPL price changes or any transfer news or anything of the sort relating to FPL. And lastly, make sure to give us a follow over on Twitch so that you can see when we go live for our preview and deadline streams. We will be doing a deadline stream this Saturday, 1 hour before the FPL deadline over on Twitch. There'll be a pinned comment down below on the video and on all videos to let you know when the next FPL stream is and the link to the Twitch stream. So without further ado, let's talk about our partners for this episode with Fantasy Football Scout. So if you haven't heard about Fantasy Football Scout, they have a fantastic members area during the regular season. It's £25 for the membership, and that lasts the entire year. And during the off season, they give a 20% discount. But if you have missed that discount, fear not, you can still get the membership for £25, and it's fantastic. You can see the membership area just behind me. You have a bunch of different stats that you can use powered by Opta stats and create your own custom tables. You have the Rate My Team tool, you have the season ticker, player comparison tools, a whole array of things that you can use to help elevate your FPL game. So use the link down in the description below so that you can get access to these exclusive tools to help elevate your FPL game. Sign up now. Now, as you saw on the thumbnail, Ferran Torres has been a hotly contested FPL asset and has been transferred in by over 800,000 FPL managers, 826,062 to be precise at the time of recording. His price has already increased over the international break to 7.1 million from its original 7 million, and for good reason. He got 2 goals and an assist in the last game in Game Week 3, racking himself up a very hefty double-digit score of 19. He has had 3 big chances as well and 6 shots inside the box, so he is getting attempts on goal in places where you would want him to be, and he also plays for the best team that, well, you would argue that they'd be the best team in the league because they won the league last season in Man City, and they have not the greatest run of fixtures coming up. Chelsea away, Liverpool away, so maybe a short-term pick, but Man City can score against anyone, and if you're gonna keep him in your team, you just hope that you get those holes against the bad teams, and you get the 1s or the 2s from the bench, you know, against some of the good teams, and you just play somebody else over him. He's 7 million, or he's 7.1, but he's that type of price point, anywhere from 6 to 7.5 million, where you can have one of those in your teams that's maybe a bit of a risk, and you're going to get the highs, but you're also going to get the lows as well, but those highs may benefit for a price as cheap as his. He is a midfielder that is playing up front in a false 9 system, which basically just means he drops off the line and like bulks out the midfield in a footballing sense, but it still means that he gets in the box and centrally to help score goals. So I think Ferran Torres is going to be a fantastic pick, and I can see why a lot of managers have brought him in this game week. And Leicester, who in my opinion haven't played very well this season, even though they've gotten 2 wins and they kind of scraped by against Norwich in their last fixture, I think they could be there for the taking. I'm not sure their injury status because I think Vestergaard might still be out. Not sure on that one. Soyuncu's just not been playing well, and he got suspended for Turkey as well by getting sent off. So again, they're just not at the back. I just don't see Leicester keeping City out, and Torres could definitely be among it. He's been on a hot streak, so I think he could be the guy in midfield that we go for. That might be that slightly riskier pick. Now, with that being said, Ferran Torres is second on the most transfer list, but who could possibly, just thinking, maybe there's somebody that could be slightly higher than him? Maybe some Cristiano Ronaldo fella? Hey, look at that, I was right. Cristiano Ronaldo is the most transferred in FPL player for Game Week 4. Who would have thunk it? Coming back to his old club. at Manchester United, returning to Old Trafford. He hasn't even kicked a ball yet, and he's almost 20% owned already. Look at the stats. Zeros across the entire board. He has nothing. He's done anything yet, and he's 12.5 million, and almost 1.5 million managers have bought him into their teams already, which is just absolutely insane. But I think it could be for good reason. The last time he played against Newcastle at home at Old Trafford, when he was playing for Manchester United, he scored a hat-trick in a 6-0 win. I probably repeated that a few times on a couple of my videos as well. He's also going to be on penalties. I don't think Bruno Fernandes is going to be on penalties now that Ronaldo's in the team. It's probably going to be in his contract. Like, I need to take penalties. I need to wear the number 7. I need to, do everything, basically. And he is going to do everything. He's going to help elevate the players around him. He's going to show the leadership kind of, not necessarily categories of properties, I guess, to help them gain the experience they need to be when they're in a difficult situation. He can help just be like, no, it's fine. We can go on and do this. You're good enough to do this type of thing. Because he's been there. He's done that. He's won the Ballon d'Or multiple times. He's won the Champions League multiple times. He's won the Euros with Portugal. He's basically done everything apart from win the World Cup. And there's a possible chance that Portugal could win it come 2022. So it would definitely help with his leadership. He's also with Varane as well, another big leader who they used to play with each other over at Real Madrid in that streak where they won 3 Champions Leagues in back-to-back seasons. So the overall quality and the overall kind of stature of the first 11 at Man United has been elevated significantly when with the likes of Marcus Rashford, who's idolized Cristiano Ronaldo, Bruno Fernandes, who's idolized Cristiano Ronaldo. They're going to be saying, I can't drop anything below 110% because otherwise he's going to be making sure that I correct that real quick. So Ronaldo is definitely going to be coming into my team this week. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it as of yet, but he's definitely going to be coming in, and I'm going to have him for these 4 games. Newcastle at home, West Ham away, Aston Villa at home, Everton at home. And I can easily see him being captain in 3 of those 4 fixtures. Probably not the West Ham away game, but the other 3 home fixtures, which is something that is becoming more and more prevalent like it did in seasons gone by. So there was a weird kind of dynamic where home fixtures versus away fixtures didn't really matter too much. It was more or less equal, whereas in seasons gone by, the home team had a significant advantage for the win. So I think when it comes to captaincy, that's going to play into our deciding factor. So in Game Week 6, Salah has a great fixture versus Brentford away. But Ronaldo, for the 1.4 plus million managers that have brought him in, might be eyeing that Aston Villa fixture as a better fixture than Salah, even though Salah's playing a team that just got newly promoted. So Ronaldo, he's going to come in, he's going to demand the best out of the players. He's going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck at times. Scruff of the neck? I think that's how you say it. Scruff of the neck. He's going to win the game. He's Ronaldo. That's how it kind of works. And for 12.5 million, I was expecting to be a bit more expensive, but clearly 1.4 million plus of you think that's perfectly fine, and I'm going to be one of those soon. I just haven't made the transfer yet because I don't know how to do it. But with that being said, Ronaldo's being brought in, but there's a certain Man United asset that's actually top of the list for being transferred out. And that player is Bruno Fernandes. Now, everyone is speculating that Bruno Fernandes is not going to be on penalties. He's not going to be on free kicks. He's not going to be doing this. He's not going to be doing that. He's going to give everything to Ronaldo. We technically don't even know that. I would expect that Ronaldo is going to be on, some set pieces. He'll be on penalties, most certainly. But Bruno's still going to have corners. Certain angles, Fernandes might take the free kicks if it's slightly closer, where Ronaldo would be slightly more longer range, which was typically Rashford's favorite position to shoot from like around the 30-yard mark. Whereas anything from within 25 yards and closer, Fernandes has the ability to whip it up and over the wall. But we still don't know that as of yet. And a lot of managers, over 820,000 managers to be precise, have transferred out Fernandes. And I can assume it's to make way for the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, for me personally, in my team setup, I have Son that I can use to downgrade and still keep Fernandes, because it comes as a shootout between Fernandes versus Newcastle at home versus Salah, who has Leeds away. I'm going to take Bruno Fernandes, penalties or not. He scored 3 open play goals versus Leeds. Salah could potentially do the same, but Salah's away from home, whereas Fernandes was at home. And I think Fernandes is still good at making runs in beyond the striker. when Ronaldo drops off the line and kind of funnels into that left-hand side channel, similar to what he did at Juve, similar to what he did at Real Madrid when he wasn't playing the when he was playing the number 9, he would still drop off into that area, but tends to favor that side to cut in and shoot. Marcus Rashford does that a lot when you see him play for United as well, maybe mimicking in the game. Maybe it's because he's the idol. That's kind of how it works. You kind of take things from certain players' games and make it into your own. But I think Fernandes, I don't think he's going to get affected too much. Yes, the penalties is probably not going to be as great, but he may just up his levels in terms of open play. And that may see a better Fernandes potentially. You know, with Ronaldo coming in, he's going to say, okay, I have to up my game in terms of scoring, in terms of assisting, being a lot more clinical, being a lot less wasteful when passing the ball, and trying to make these more Hollywood passes be a lot more efficient. Because if I waste the pass and Ronaldo doesn't receive the ball, he's going to be barking up my tree, and I don't really want that. So I think Fernandes could potentially benefit from it. Again, we'll have to see. I understand the reasoning for managers taking out Fernandes to get Ronaldo in, because it is kind of the direct money kind of comparison, 12.5 to 12 million. You don't really need much else to kind of work that out. I just think I'm going to keep Fernandes personally. That's just the way my team is set up. Fernandes was, what, 55+%. Now he's down to almost 45%, 46.3% at the time of recording. I think he could still do well. I personally think that Fernandes will outscore Salah this week, personally in a one-all fixture. I'm going to be bringing in Salah in the next week, obviously, because he plays Crystal Palace at home, and Fernandes' fixtures start to get worse. And with Ronaldo in the team, you can kind of cover, in a sense, the points there as well. But we'll have to wait and see. Fernandes could go on an absolute mad one this week, and then a lot of managers aren't going to be too happy with him, with Ronaldo in their team. But I expect both of them to do well. It is Newcastle, and the fixture is great on paper. Now, Fernandes is the most transferred out player this week, but who is the make-way forward that is being transferred out the second most by FPL managers? And that forward is Danny Ings, transferred out by 704,000 managers, a 31% ownership still at the moment, even with all of those sales. He's currently at 8 million. He went up to 8.1 briefly, but we can understand why he's being transferred out. If you started the season with the likes of Ivan Toney, Ings, and Antonio, or just Ings and Antonio, who are you going to get rid of? The guy who's lighting it up for West Ham, or the guy who's playing for Aston Villa, whose team's not playing as well, and his fixtures are awful? I think Danny Ings is going to be the one that's going to make way over Antonio personally, and it seems that's where a lot of managers are going. Taking out Fernandes, taking out Ings, bringing in Ronaldo, bringing in Torres. That's what seems like the most common set of double transfers that's happening this game week, and potentially for good reason. If you look at Danny Ings' fixtures, barring the Everton at home fixture, you would say Chelsea away, Man United away, Spurs away, 3 away fixtures. That looks awful. Don't want to go anywhere near that. Now, the Everton at home fixture, I'd probably say is probably an FDR rating of 3. It's not really an FDR rating of 4, especially if Pickford does make a mistake or the defenders make a mistake, as they did in the opening game week as well. Ings is clinical enough to go on and score, just as Armstrong did when Everton played Southampton and conceded like 40-odd minutes into the game. And Ings has been clinical. I mean, he had a penalty, he scored it. He had a bicycle kick opportunity, he scored it. He had a very lucky assist to Buendia. Buendia, again, got the chance, shot, scored it. So I think Ings is going to potentially improve over the season. Obviously a new system, new players coming in. They've had to replace a long-standing player that's been in their team for several years in Jack Grealish, and they're piecing, kind of the puzzle together to get it back into shape. And I think Ings is going to help that. I think if there's anyone that you want to tick along with goals, he's going to be the guy. And Ings actually had a very good strike rate versus the likes of Chelsea, Man United, Spurs, the traditional big six, when he played for Southampton. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ings managed to nick something versus Chelsea, United, or Spurs. I definitely expect him to do well versus Everton. Now, me personally, in my team, I started off with Ings, Wilson, and Antonio. Wilson looks like the guy who's going to be the one that makes way in my team, so I might have to hang on to Ings for a couple of game weeks, because the following week I'm going to want to transfer out Fernandes to bring in Salah, and Ings will have to play against Everton at home, which I'm not, kind of opposed to. I think there could still be a good fixture for him. If he gets the chance, I expect him to score, and Ings was often, especially when he played for Southampton, 1 goal, 9 points, max bonus, game set, match. he was always a very consistent scorer. Didn't often get the double-digit holes, but when he did score, it was 2 or 3 bonus points, bang, straight up to the top, because he was just that good of a finisher. He had one chance, and bang, it was in the back of the net. So I think Ings could still be a good asset for the next 2, but over the long run, probably not great. Maybe bring him back in when Aston Villa's fixtures get a little bit better. So I understand why a lot of managers are taking him out. I probably won't be able to do that because I have other fires to put out, but I can understand why. If you're bringing in Cristiano Ronaldo for him, what's not to like about that transfer? So that's going to do it for all of the transfers. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think Ferran Torres and Ronaldo deserve the amount of transfers that they've had? And do you think Fernandes and Ings have been harshly done in the transfers out by FPL managers? Let me know in the comments down below. I mean, Ings has got 3 returns in 3. Fernandes scored a hat-trick in game week 1. Ronaldo hasn't even kicked the ball yet, so on paper it doesn't seem logical, but it's Cristiano Ronaldo at the end of the day, isn't it? And that's going to do it for this edition of Transfer Radar. If you haven't done so already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn those notification bells on so you can get the content as soon as it is readily available. Drop us a follow over on Twitter so you can see any and all FPL news that we post over there relating to price changes, transfers, and anything in between. As well as give us a follow over on Twitch so you can see when we go live for our preview and deadline streams for FPL. There will be a pinned comment down below to give you the details on that as to time and the link to the stream. And lastly, make sure to use the link down in the description below so that you can get your Fantasy Football Scout membership. It's a fantastic offer. They have a preseason offer normally, which I believe is expired as of now, but don't worry, you could still get access to the members area and get all the details, all of the different stats, all of the different tools that's going to help elevate your FPL game. Thank you all for watching, and until the next one, take care.